Oh, apparently I heard Ekman, he's back, huh? He going to play again. I retire.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1,
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans. So we got the Sabres tonight, and I don't think the Panthers care all that much about getting second place, and that's fine. So Barkov is going to rest. Reinhardt is going to rest. We already know Bennett is out, but Maurice is talking about the possibility that he may play one of the final two games. All right, got Vanacek in net, and supposedly Kachuk is going to maybe possibly start practicing in full this week. So that kind of tells us all we need to know. If he can practice for, it would be 2 weeks, right? No, it wouldn't be 2 weeks. If he starts practicing Monday, he's going to get about 5 or 6 days worth of practice and then play in game one. If that's the case, I'm not even going to make a guess as to what that says about when he was ready to actually play versus the LTIR. Doesn't matter as long as he's actually really healthy. Not like game 4 against Vegas, okay, where he couldn't put on his own shirt, but hey, I'm going to go play a hockey game. So what do I expect to see tonight? Don't know. Sabres doing their thing at the end of the year like they always do, where they're playing really well. The playoff race, for what it is, last night didn't get any. Nothing was decided much. We all lost. Tampa got a point, which was kind of one of the worst two things that could have happened. If they would have gotten 2 points, then we know we're out. But now we're still kind of could get second place. But what I really didn't want to have happen was that game against the Lightning to actually have meaning for us. I wanted to be able to just rest and relax players. So, and honestly, because if let's say we beat them, let's say we win that game, right? Tampa still has a game after that game, so it could be a situation where we bust our ass and get ahead of them, and then all they need is a point in their last game to get second place and get home ice. So we're resting as many people as we can tonight. I'm interested to see what the lineup is going to be, although we might just run both fourth lines out there as the third and the fourth line. So I'm not going to ask for 2 points. Just stay healthy. Everybody stay healthy. Let's continue to see a good game from Vanacek. Megno, who's going to score? Boquist. We need to cure Boquist's Verhageitis. That's what we need. All right. Give me 2 points. All right, so it's 1-0 Buffalo after one pretty mild period of play. Buffalo's had a few good chances. Vanacek was playing well. The power play goal was not his fault. They get a power play goal at about 15 seconds left. Very unusual that you would see just terrible coverage from Gustav Forsling. Look, I don't even want to attempt to explain how the coverage happened the way it did. It just looked like he gave up on the play, like he thought nothing was going to happen, and the puck was in the back of an open net. So it's 1-0. We're resting half the team. You got Polviari out there. Asplund is out there because Nosek isn't feeling well. So I think the fourth line is Asplund with Greer and Gadjevich. Lundell, Lusterin, and Marchand continues to be a thing. That's probably going to be the only line I might have a chance at getting some goals today. Verhaeghe still has Verhageitis. Move on to the second period. So it's 1-1 after 2. I cured Verhaeghe's Verhageitis. I'm not taking credit, but I did bitch about him long enough for him to finally get a real goal. Last game, he gets the empty netter, and today he did something that looked like Carter Verhaeghe. I'm surprised he didn't shoot it over the net, or as Kyle says, I'm surprised he didn't hit the post. So it's 1-1. This guy, Polviarvi. Now, obviously, I haven't followed his career over his whole, he was the 4th overall pick with Edmonton, played with them for a few years, had what looks like statistically a few decent years, at least goal scoring wise. And then he was moved to Carolina, Pittsburgh for a couple of years, and he's been with us in the AHL for a half a minute. And he's coming out here hitting everything that moves, and he got a goal for himself. He's had some opportunities. Good depth piece, another 4th line depth piece. I'm not suggesting we put him on the ice over any of our guys right now, but he's got plenty of NHL experience. He's got size. So the fact that we added him to the mix, between him and Magna, I do feel a little bit better about this team's veteran depth. That said, nobody wants overtime in this game. All right, let's finish this up and get to.
We are going to overtime! Oh, we are going to the shootout, and it is my favorite part of the game!
All right, we'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 2 points, and it took a 5-on-3. It took a two full minutes of a 5-on-3. And we ended up with overtime. We ended up with a shootout. I wasn't so sure about Vanacek in the shootout, I'm not going to lie. But now we're 6-0 with the shootouts this year. So now technically, we're tied with Tampa. But they've got a game in hand. You know the whole spiel. So now what this most likely means, right? We got the Rangers and we got Tampa. Can we be eliminated by the time that we play Tampa for home ice? I don't think we can. I don't think that we can. Because they have a game, then they play us, and then they have a game after we're done. So at the very least, unless we'd be eliminated with a tie, because this wasn't a regulation win, so maybe there's that. So, what we see on the ice tonight, I like I mentioned, Puljujärvi would have had the game-winning goal, but 5-on-3. I don't know what Sam Miskevich did to get the unsportsmanlike conduct. I cannot talk tonight. Sam Miskevich took a stick up high, and then he got really, really irritated, went back to the bench, and then when there was the next fight, because there was a bunch of fights in the third period, they were just making runs at Greer. He was fighting everybody. Sam Miskevich must have said something to the ref because he got an extra 2 for unsportsmanlike. And right as the 5-on-3 was expiring, Vanacek, he's doing the job that we need him to do right now. And I'm not necessarily blaming him because it was a 5-on-3. But he's so slow moving side to side. He was too slow with the wraparound. And if you watch the second goal tonight, it was obvious that the puck was being passed to the other side of the net. And what he does is, instead of anticipating that there's a shooter where that pass is going and sliding over and facing the shooter, he watches the shot go by, and then when he sees there's a guy that's going to shoot the puck, then he'll start sliding over, and it goes short side. And I haven't followed him his whole career, but I would assume that's why his save percentage is usually, like now, sub 900. So, but this guy Puljujärvi, I know that he's, like I talked about in the previous period, he seems to be having a good time out there, that's for sure. He certainly has the look of somebody who wants to stick around with this team right now. He's having a lot of fun out there. He gets the goal on a one-handed deflection. That would have been the game-winning goal. And he had 10 hits. I think it was 10 hits, 10 hits tonight. And he's doing it in a smart way. He's not just doing it to hit people. He's not taking any penalties. And definitely good depth there. Now, what I found interesting in overtime was he started off with Jones instead of Forsling, and then when Forsling went off, he brought Jones back and then finally gave Mikla a shift. Forward-wise, did we see Marchand out there? We did not see Marchand out there. A lot of Sam Miskevich, who had plenty of chances, but a couple of his chances were at the very end of a shift. Coach put Beliskis with Forsling. I mean, what I'm noticing is that it kind of doesn't matter who we throw out there on defense. We're going to give up 2 goals, right? for the most part, we're just playing our system. Balinskis was fine. It was fine. But that doesn't give me a lot of hope that coach is going to take Balinskis off the ice in favor of Megna in those 2 playoff games. So we'll have to see about that. Like I said, there was no Barkov, no Reinhart. None of our big guys were really out there. Verhaeghe looks more like himself. Now that's good. And Boquist still has Verhaeghe-itis. He had a breakaway, and the puck just kind of like, it's the same thing. He's by himself. He's breaking in. He's got the puck on his stick. And like, I think the stick like melted like Jello. The stick just disintegrated, and the puck just wandered off into the wilderness on its own, just never to be seen again. It's the same thing. One guy has had that disease all year long. Right now it's Boquist. We need to get him a goal before the playoffs start. He hasn't scored since January 25th. And I don't know if you do math or not, but that's a long time ago. So we can get him a goal because most of the other depth guys are starting to score a little bit. What else did we see? The Marchand, Lusterine, and Lundell line. I know it's not in that order. Leave that. I hope coach leaves that. You just put Kachuk next to Bennett and put Samoskevich over there, and that's the way we need to go. And other than that, we've got 2 fourth lines. We're good to go. Nosek wasn't out there tonight. Asplund really hasn't really been noticeable. Not bad, but he hasn't really done anything to make me say keep bringing him back. But Polviari, I wouldn't mind having him on the roster for playoff depth. He's played in the NHL. Now, I don't know what the problem was in Edmonton. I don't know if he was just drafted so high when he didn't turn into Connor Bedard. I don't know what they thought this kid was going to be. He's got good size. He's hitting everybody that moves. Defensively, at least so far, he looks pretty responsible. So I don't know what the problem was in Edmonton or Carolina or Pittsburgh, but whatever the problem was, he's not exhibiting it here. So hopefully that's another find by Zito, because we can use all the depth pieces like that we can get, because we keep giving away our first round draft picks. So anyway, other than that, solid game. Nothing to complain about with all the guys that were missing. Buffalo obviously got real chippy. It started with a Gadjevich hit, and then Gadjevich had a fight with Tuck. That didn't go too well for Buffalo. I guess they were trying to get revenge on Gadjo. That didn't work out all that well. And then a bunch of scraps happened in the third period there, and looked like the Panthers kind of got the best of that, although except for the 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes, and literally with 1 second left, short side Vanacek gets beat. Can't blame him, but I'd still like to see his anticipation moving be a little bit better. It's just when we're watching the TV and you're waiting to see the goalie start to move, if as a fan you're watching the goalie, if you have enough time as a fan watching it on TV to be aware that I think the goalie should have started moving already and he's still not moving, that's slow. That's too slow. Vanacek, you gotta, I don't know what you're gonna need to do between, just get some smelling salts out there. Wake up. So there's that. All right. I'll be live. What's tomorrow? I'll be live tomorrow at noon for your therapy session. And then that's it. We've got the 1 day off Monday. And then we play Tuesday, Wednesday. And depending on what's going on in the league, we'll try to cover any games towards the last couple of days of the season there, 16th, 17th. We'll try to cover any games that have playoff implications. I'll have to get playoff previews getting going here real soon. And I'm sure Paul and I will do something over on the Puck Blockers channel. Brand new channel. Links are in the description. All right, that's going to do it. This game was long enough. We were supposed to stay up and do Drunken Uno tonight, but the game's so late, I don't know what we're going to get ready to do. All right, all that matters, though, we got Dois. Yeah, there you go. There's your intro, Dois.